over to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, dog. Yeah. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she is back in the algorithm again, talking the talk. I ain't gonna say talking her talk, but I'm gonna say she's talking the talk. So she was on the Love and Fly Shit podcast, talking about hard truths and tough love. And yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. So let's go ahead and rock out, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Are high value, low functioning. High value meaning what? They got the money. They can, in their illusion, can purchase a woman. Woman can't be bought.
They being bought every day.
And men are getting exactly what they paying for. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
They getting either vagina, an STD, or a baby mama.
Would you take a high functioning man making $50,000 a year?
That wouldn't fit my lifestyle.
You can respect him?
Yes.
Well, then why wouldn't you take him? He make 50, he make you happy.
Because what happens is psychologically, when that man cannot provide for a woman of my caliber, it affects him. I'm not here to make a man feel small. I'm here to make Fly Shit Podcast.
Rinse and repeat. Coming in looking like the VIP.
How you doing?
How you doing?
What's going on, family? Thank you.
Let me find
these issues. You didn't work through these traumas. Now that you have the money, you won't know how to have mental health with the money. So what happens is you demise yourself internally because you don't have the balance of your well-being internally and your economic status externally. And so my hybrid modality does that. Now I've come to the crossroad where my Dr. Bryant Institute is now going to be offering insurance because there's a gap between the folks that can afford me and the folks that cannot. And I have a problem with that. The people that cannot afford me are due mental health. Mental health is a human right. It's not a socioeconomic right. It's not a one race right. And it's not a one gender right. Anyone who is breathing should be allowed to have mental health. Okay. So any way that I can assist somebody is the way that I try to create, that bridge so that gap can be filled and they can obtain the services that they need. And so now we're going to be offering insurance because there's people who can't afford me, but they still deserve the right to have the services. And so we have a whole department that is going to be taking care of folks who only have insurance. And we're going to make sure that that gap is bridged. And so no one in our community will have at a deficit when it comes to mental health services.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
Real. That's dope.
I think the world is starting to take mental health more seriously. I mean, I think back in the day, I don't remember
this move
by different women and different men have to be the option. You can always repair. We can always reshape. If y'all been together, for the couples who've been together for the 10 years, the 15 years, the 20 years, the 25 years, oftentimes they're just two different people that just have to get to re-know each other and reshape the marriage to make sure that it complements and is conducive for the newness of where they currently are. Like, we are growing beings. And we are going to continuously grow. We are not meant to be the fig tree in the Bible that didn't produce and didn't multiply. We've seen what happened to the fig tree. God cursed it because we're meant to be fruitful and multiply. And that doesn't mean multiply with multiple kids by different women and different men. That means be fruitful within yourself and grow.
Relationship counselor.
And have fruits of your labor that can create harvest for everyone around you who, one, witnesses it, and two, eats off of it. Because someone's always picking off of you as whatever tree you are. And I'll land on this and I'll tag you in. The Bible says you can tell a tree by what? The fruit it grows.
Yeah, for sure.
So what fruit do you want to be identified with?
But I understand completely what you're saying. And I have different.
I have both the. He was like, he was like, I'm going.
Here's the thing. I feel like, family planning. We've had a whole episode about family planning. So personally, I agree. We only have kids with each other. Yeah, personally, for my personal journey, I wanted to be married before I had kids. I wanted to have kids with one man. I understand how that can be the dream.
Totally.
But I do understand also
how that cannot happen.
How that cannot happen, right?
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about men who purposely just make babies with more than one person or continuously make babies with multiple women, I want your opinion on where you think what the root cause of that is, because obviously you see it as something that it shouldn't happen, that shouldn't be the plan, that shouldn't necessarily be like what you intend to do. It seems like that's your perspective.
So I wouldn't say shouldn't, because I don't project my values on anyone. What I say is your decisions cause deficit or equity. Your decisions. And so I don't think anyone should do anything. I think folks, if I had to say it should, the only thing they should do is say, when I make this decision, what comes with it? And am I willing and do I want to buy everything that comes with this? You said the word not on purpose. I got to push back on that. Because if I'm intimate with a man, even as a woman, and I allow him to enter my body with no contraceptive, and I end up pregnant, people want to say the word mistake so they can deflect from their decision. They want to say the word mistake so they can be in their avoidant behavior. No, I purposely got pregnant.
I saw that, bro.
Because in that moment, I understood as an adult with insight that a man penetrating me raw, who happens to have something called sperm in his body that makes a child, can impregnate me.
Theoretically, but life happens, and people don't always.
But life happens when decisions are not something that somebody is being accountable for prior to the result your decision makes. I do not coddle bad decisions, and I do not allow people to avoid them and make excuses for them, because life happens, but life happens as a result of whose decisions? Ours. Ours.
That's true.
You were purposeful and intentional when you said, I wanted to be married to this man before procreating with this man. So was that an accident? Was that a mistake? Or was that on purpose?
It was intentional, but honestly, it was God that prevented us from having kids before. But definitely was getting it. I would have been okay with it.
But you were being intentional.
I was, but life could have also happened. I really believe it was God.
We manifest our intention. And if people are going into relationships, or better yet, going into bedrooms without an intention that I want to be in a family, I want to have a family dynamic that consists of me, a husband, and a covering of God prior to having kids, then they will end up manifesting their intention, which is not one. You said clear, I had an intention, but we were still rocking and rolling, raw, doing things that could have.
We had a lot of drunk nights in Miami. And
but intention is also a prayer to God. Praying is not just like this. Every thought, every word is a prayer. So when you tell God, my intention from my heart is to do the right thing. The Bible talks about God blessing righteous people, not perfect people. You were righteous with your intention. Obviously, your heart posture was in the right place. So God manifests your intention, which is the righteousness that you put out there in front of him. He didn't look at the fact that you were sinning prior to being married. But I mean, the Bible talks about these things because there's a lot of folks in the Bible who are doing fucked up shit. I'm gonna say it. But God talks about the righteousness of Peter's heart, who denied Jesus 3 times. And Jesus forgave him, came on the boat to get Peter. And Peter said, oh no, he coming to get me. I denied him. Jesus looked at him and said, do you love me? Do you love me? So you was my dog. You cut off ears when people talked about me. People couldn't get a word about me wrong when I wasn't in a room. And you denied me when they were beating me. Because your heart is right.
Yeah, but
I forgive you. Because your heart, that's righteousness.
But there are some people who still
so you can advocate for them.
I'm advocating for them. I'm not one of them, but I'm advocating for them.
You can't. I'm not coddling bad decisions. I will have grace for people who understand that because of their bad decisions, they're not doomed. But I'm not calling bad decisions, especially not here where we have folks who are watching us. So I'm not creating any more deficits in our community. I am not going to coddle that in our community. we have a very sensitive, coddled community, and I am not the one that's going to be on the bandwagon.
It's not about coddling. It's about inspiring people who made those bad decisions to make the best of those decisions.
And how you do that is making sure that they hold themselves accountable for the decisions that they made, because before you can make a different decision, you have to have something called awareness. Awareness then creates accountability. If you're not accountable, you don't make different decisions. I'm sorry, it's not accountability.
I agree with that.
So how do you give the grace when you say you do give them grace?
I love that question. Great question. It is, you're not doomed. It is, let's take inventory and turn the lights on so we can take inventory of what is in this room, good and bad. Because just because you made one or two bad decisions doesn't mean that your inventory of your life doesn't also have amazing things going on there. Let's figure out how we can empower you. Let's figure out what the results are that your decisions have created. And let's figure out what are the resources you need to do different, to be better. If it's you are a mother who is single and you never wanted that, but you're there, how do we get you the resources to be the best mother you can be? How do we get you to make different decisions so that your babies who are watching you, which is called learned behavior, don't do the things you do? I am here to break generational pathologies. I am here to break dysfunctional pathologies. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be on no bandwagon, and I'm not here to tell people, listen, you made bad decisions. That's okay, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. You've already hurt your own feelings.
It's not about hurting feelings.
You've already created.
It's not.
You've already created a trauma
she getting triggered
bond between yourself, that relationship, and those babies that you birthed. Let's undo that. Let's, and we can do that. I agree with this part. We can do that with love and with grace.
Yes.
But that comes with also saying, here goes a mirror. Let's look at what's there. And I'm not here for deflection, and I'm not here for avoidant behavior. It doesn't get us anywhere but in the same cycle that we continuously repeat, and that is called generational curses if we want to go street terms, and it's called dysfunctional pathology if we want to go clinical terms. And I'm not here for it. I'm here to disrupt it, and I stand on it. And here goes my square.
I guess I respect it.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead. I got a question.
Let him go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You had something you wanted to say. I don't want to stop you. Go ahead.
No. Okay, so this is my thing. Anybody that knows me knows that I hold everybody accountable. I have very high standards for myself and anybody around me.
I can tell. Yeah, totally.
My team, whatever.
Totally.
But at the same time, I'm also very, I understand bad decisions.
Yeah.
I understand that sometimes things happen that you didn't intend to happen, and now it's about fixing them. It's about moving forward. And I also do understand that sometimes a bad decision may not always end up in a bad result. So just because you made a decision to have sex with somebody, it doesn't. Sometimes
a bad decision does not end up in a bad result.
Does not always.
So then what would make it a bad decision? You only know a decision is bad or good by the result that it produces. You only know that an orange tree is an orange tree by the fruit it produces, which is an orange.
So I'll give you a very obvious example. You make a bad decision, you have sex with the wrong guy raw, you have a baby. That baby is not a bad result. That baby is a product of a bad decision, but it's not a bad result.
No, that child is not a bad child. That child is not a mistake. The mistake that was made was at the choice of the mother and the father. We got to hold both accountable. The child, I agree, is not a mistake. That child is just an innocent baby that is a result of a decision. Yes, but her bad decision making did cause that child to be born in deficit. It still results in a bad result. It doesn't mean that she's stuck in that result. It doesn't mean that a man is stuck in that result. I think we have to get to the picture of, are they stuck? No. Is it a bad decision? Yes. A bad decision doesn't make that person a bad person. So I think what's happening is you got to separate the two. Stop personalizing that if I make a bad decision, I'm a bad person. No, I'm not a bad person.
I don't think people do that.
Totally.
I think my point is coming from a judgmental standpoint.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like what you're saying is judgmental in some ways. I feel like I wasn't raised in a two-parent household the whole time. My parents were together, they got divorced. I chose to go another route. But I don't feel like it's necessarily always the wrong way to do things. I don't agree with men having 5 baby mamas, but that doesn't mean that just because he's not in the household with his one baby mama, that makes him a bad man, or he's not a good man because he's not with that woman. And I feel like I do believe in co-parenting. I believe people can still raise kids successfully without necessarily being married. My path is not everybody's path. So I come from a standpoint of,
I don't know.
There are multiple ways to do
I don't know about that part, shorty. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. Pathology is the medical study of the functions and tissues. And what the fuck is she talking about? Man, I don't know what the hell that woman talking about, to be honest with you.
And sometimes you got to play the cards you have to the best of your
ability. I knew your toxic ass was going to say something. Man, nah, bro.
I don't agree with like the judgmental aspect of, okay,
no,
everybody needs to get married to have kids, because there are single women out here who are having kids by themselves without a man at all. And
if that's by choice, then again, that's their decision. So that's what they wanted. That was an intentional choice. We have my sis, Ebony K. Williams, who was on my my talk show, She Talks. Shout out to my girl, Ebony K. She made a choice to have a child as a single woman by herself. She's a very happy mama bear. That is a choice with an intention. You're talking about two different things. When you said I was not born or not raised in a two-parent household, but I grew up to make a different decision. Well, what probed you to?
But again, that's where statistics come in, big dog. Yeah, Splinter Cell. Yeah, he was from a two-parent household. Yeah, he was. That's nothing is absolute. But again, the likelihood, the probability of a person turning out not dysfunctional versus a person turning out dysfunctional is different. The likelihood of a person being a law-abiding citizen not being what that, what Splinter Cell was, the likelihood of that happening coming out of a two-parent household is far unlikely than a situation where a kid comes from a one-parent household. There's a study on that, fam. Just saying.
To make a different decision is you saying that was a decision.
Environment doesn't always produce the best fruit, but in most cases, depending on what environment that you are in, you could pretty much determine what that fruit is going to bear. So it's just like the analogy, you know what I'm saying? If you hang around 6 millionaires, you're more than likely going to be the 7th millionaire, right? Because that's what's in proximity to you. That's the environment that you're in. So you're going to be more likely to end up a millionaire as well. And that goes the same way as the other. If you tend to always hang around, the thugs and the gangsters, you're going to end up being a thug or a gangster. Or a gangster, because of proximity, because of the environment that you are in. That's why when you see a lot of people who come out of the hood, not many make it out. There are some who do, because nothing is absolute. So yeah, that's why it still stands. Most people who tend to be degenerates come from a single parent household. There are some who make it out and who make a phenomenal life for themselves. Just as there are some who come from a two-parent household, they end up being degenerates. But it's not absolute, though. It's the probability of it happening versus not happening. I heard an example years ago. It's easier to pull someone down from standing on a chair than it is to pull someone up onto a chair. That's a fact. That's a great analogy. If that wasn't the case, they wouldn't celebrate people who make it from a single parent household so much. Exactly. That's why one of the things, who is one of the GOATs? LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a kid from Akron. I'm not supposed to be here. I grew up without my father, single parent household. Most people ain't LeBron James. That's a 1%. That's a 1% type of guy. Not many people finna be a LeBron James. That's a prime example. When you look at everything on a broad level, on the broad spectrum.
You didn't want. So therefore, if it was something you admired, you would have recreated the wheel, baby. But you didn't, because you said, I don't want this decision. Because somewhere in your mind, you've seen that as not being a good decision. We do good things. You didn't say, I want to do the opposite because I just want to be a bad woman. I want to be a rebel. You went and created something different that happens to be better, whether you want to admit it.
There are studies on everything. But at the end of the day, that's where we have to use our discernment, right? You know you being from the hood, bro. We pretty much proved the point. You say you come from the place that you come from. Not many make it out of there. You did. That ain't the likelihood of that happening. What's the likelihood of that happening? I know people who live in the suburbs that ended up being shitbags. What's the likelihood of that happening? That's why people get surprised. So that's why people make it such a big deal with Splinter Cell. That's why they like, he came from a 2-parent household. They were Christians and they were Republican. Oh, look at that. That's why it's such a shocker. Because the likelihood of it happening, that's not likely to happen, especially in Utah. That's not likely to happen. Versus if the shit was flipped around, if he came from a single parent household, and he'd be like, came from a single parent household, father wasn't in the home, you know what I'm saying? So one thing led to another. Nah, come on, Jay.
It or not. The second part that you said that I want to address is
Davies could have been.
You said
Davies could not have been a LeBron James. I saw him play. He wasn't no LeBron James. He was not phenomenal. He was a solid hooper. He was not a LeBron James. Nowhere close to it. I saw him play. No, nowhere near. That LeBron James is a one generational talent. Nate Davies was not a generational talent. He was just a hooper who could hoop decent. He was a decent hooper. He was not a LeBron James. Absolutely not. Hence why he didn't get to where he was at. Davies, nah, that's cap. There's wild LeBron James is in the hood. Folks got to eat until they make it though. But again, you're proving the point. You're proving my point, G. They don't make it out. They don't make it out for a number of reasons. You've proven the point. They don't make it out. There's reasons why they don't make it out because the environment that they are in, the environment that they grew up in, typically single parent households, an environment that they grew up in, so they tend not to make it out. So that's why LeBron James is different. He's a 1%, and not most people make it out like that. But when it's a 2-parent household, it's most likely to happen. The breadcrumbs that you're talking about, that's a one-off. It normally don't happen like that. That's what we saying. You proving my point, G. Come on, dog. I'm here with you, dog.
Judgment part.
Mm-hmm.
This is not judgment. This is saying that
because they don't have a foundational structure.
What you are choosing to do is causing impairment in your world, or is causing impairment in these beautiful children's world that you are birthing.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna let it keep playing. Give me a second. To be fair though, when you are in your teens, you start to rebel from what your parents taught you, and then get into college with freedom and exposed to a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I've been to college. I've been exposed to many different things, but I still held my foundation. I still held the foundation that my parents taught me. So therefore, I knew certain things. I knew the threshold of what not to do. Of course, I would coddle that line a little bit. It's like, let me test the waters on this a little bit. You feel me? Like, let me test the waters on this. Of course, that's what teens do. That's what you're supposed to do. But then there's still that little voice in your head that your parents instilled in you. It's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Because there have been many situations where I could have made the wrong decision, but because I heard that voice in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good, bro. Which is why foundation, bro. So when certain people say when certain people do certain shit, that's why I don't bend to peer pressure. When people say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, like stop being a bitch. Well, I'm just gonna have to be a bitch today because I'm not doing that. But that's because that's what I was taught in a young age. Like, don't bend to don't be the person that bends to peer pressure. And that was instilled in me. So when people tell me some shit that I knew that didn't look right, like, nah, G, I'm good, bro. Y'all got it. Come on, bro, stop being a bitch. I'm good. You can call me whatever you want, but nah, I'm straight. You got it. Do your thing. It wasn't because that was something that wasn't just something that just came sporadically in my mind. It was taught to have discernment, to pay attention to your surroundings. to not bend the peer pressure, to not make stupid decisions. Be careful about the decisions you make because your decisions have consequences, whether good decisions or bad decisions. They all got consequences, either good consequences or bad consequences. And that's why when I went to certain parties, when I was in the hood, not in the hood, I said the hood. When I went to certain parties that were in the hood, and I realized that some shit was popping up, something didn't seem right, I would tell the homies, hey, big dog, I'm finna go. Y'all roll with me, so let's go. Nah, bro, listen, fam, let's go. I'm leaving. Nigga, I'm telling you now. Because one thing is not about to happen. Your mom ain't about to call me and tell me why you ain't bring them with you. No, nigga, we finna go. I'm driving, so nigga, if you don't want, I'm telling you, if you don't want to get stuck over here, you better be in the car in the next few minutes. All right, bro. Then next thing you know, get home, you get in the house, everybody in the house, you look on the news, boom, there was a shooting. Good thing I left. There was a good thing I left. I was just at that fucking party, and that has happened. That's a real situation. That has happened before. I looked on the news, and there was a shooting, and another teenager died. And I was at that party. Nah, G. Hell nah. And that was all because I listened to that voice in the back of my head. It's time to go. Some don't seem right. Some don't look right. It's time to go. And we up out this bitch.
Then it wasn't the best decision. And we need to address that. And there needs to be awareness in that. Facilitated with love and guidance. The third thing.
Last one. Let me read this and then I'm going to let it play through. The type of crime committed in Utah is not the type of crime you'd expect from a single parent household. I wasn't surprised about the background. That's fair. That is fair. But again, Utah Valley. When's the last crime you heard about Utah Valley? Utah Valley is one of the safest schools that you can ever go to. I have a close friend of mine who went to Utah Valley. Safest school. The likelihood of that happening. You talking about Mormons. Ton of Mormons in Utah. That is a one-off situation. That's not likely to happen. But again, that's what I'm saying. What's the probability of something like that actually happen at a school like that, in a state like that, where they preach and they live and die by the foundational rules of, listen, you will get married, you will have children, you will be the Mormon, the whole Mormon ethics. The stories that I know about Mormons, that shit is wild. But the likelihood of it happening, though, the probability of it happening in Utah at Utah Valley, that's a one-off situation. That's not likely to happen.
Thing I want to unpack is you said you don't think that every single person should be married and have kids. I agree.
Ooh.
I think people should do what works for them.
Yes.
People should do what is conducive for them. You have people who have been together 30 years and they don't believe in marriage, but they do believe in family. And they have a beautiful family. They have a more successful dynamic than married people who've been in my office. If that works for them and it's healthy, I say run the damn play. If marriage demises you and it's not healthy, undo that play. Absolutely. Don't go there. I agree with those pieces. And you said one more thing I wanted to address. You said, what did you say? Judgment piece? Might have been it. I don't want to hold us up, but if it comes back, I'll address it.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Nah, he ran track. He ran track at Utah.
I addressed it, but you made some really good points, and I love that you are expressing yourself transparently, about these different issues, because there are so many viewers who are watching this who feel the same way, who you are going to be a voice for, and they need to hear these answers and responses, who would never get the opportunity to sit with me and ask me, maybe be in session with me and ask me, or even be able to DM me, because I can't get to every DM. So thank you for asking the questions that a lot of people probably have. Like, Doc, is this a judgmental perspective? No. But in order for us to heal and shift and move forward, just like when y'all have children, you got to tell your child when they made a bad decision. Because what kind of parent would you be? To say, Oh, no. Oh, this is what you said that I love. You said every man's not a bad man because he decided to procreate and then leave the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There is no bad human being who's bad based on just making a decision. I don't believe that people are bad. Their decisions are what need to be corrected. And the root of their decision comes from who? The wholesome, the whole person of who they are.
I don't agree with that.
So again, the fig tree isn't bad, but the fig tree wasn't producing. So because it wasn't producing, God cursed it and said, you just won't be blessed again.
All right, Doc, tell me this. How can a low value man be high functioning? That's what I want to know. How can a low value man be high functioning? Tell me that.
Hold on. Let me drink. Take me a sip.
Yeah, take
no,
a sip, me too.
Because no, that does what you just said leads into that question. Because
well, he took it straight. He said, "Hold on, y'all had your woman talk. We're gonna take
going way too long."
Dang.
He said, "I need to know."
How can a low value man be high functioning?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to clear this up.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels used his low value or his term of value as the noun of value, which is morals and values, which I love that too. I loved his term as well, right? Morals and values of a person. I use the value term as an adjective word, which is value in your success, your accolades, your money, your relationships, what you got going on socially, economically. So when I say a man can be low value, that just means that he doesn't make a lot of money. His economic status isn't high. He's not affluent. High functioning just means that this man has emotional intelligence. He has ability to regulate his emotions. He has ability to sit and create resolve with us and not bring in more impairment into our conversation, right? A perfect example of high functioning is what?
That's professional hoe talk. That's professional hoe talk. That's professional hoe talk.
Me and your beautiful wife just did.
Yeah.
We had a perception exchange. There's things that she heard me say that she pushed back on, but there was never a time where our emotions wouldn't allow us to receive each other.
Right.
Yeah,
and still not have a respectful conversation. And after this, still give a hug and love on each other and have a glass of wine if we wanted to, right? So again, low value man is a man who just economically isn't affluent.
Gotcha.
Doesn't make a lot of money, just to put it out there easy. High functioning means this man can have a conversation.
Okay.
This man can regulate his emotions. He can receive a difference in opinion.
Okay.
Right? He is not fleeing or sabotaging the conversation as soon as things don't go his way because his inability to sit in uncomfortable emotions or sit in discomfort.
I'm lost. Ted Coach, what you mean? How I know what? Talking about the friend that I know that went to Utah Valley? I'm saying he was a track runner. He was a track star at Utah Valley. So I know a lot of stories about the school through him. I think that's what you're referring to. Not sure.
Table isn't turning to him. Just like a high value, low functioning man, which is a lot of many men who are in power are high value, low functioning. High value meaning what? They got the money. They got the value. They got the home. They got the real estate portfolio. They got the yacht. They can travel, right? They can in their illusion.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout.
I'm getting back on track with Factor. Fresh.
And their fake fairy tale ideology can purchase a woman. Women can't be bought. That's a whole nother episode.
Oh, some
they can't be bought. They being bought every day.
Let's talk about that too.
They being bought right now.
And men are getting exactly what they're paying for.
And
let me go back.
Purchase a woman. High value, low functioning man, which is a lot of many men who are in power are high value, low functioning. High value meaning what? They got the money. They got the value. They got the home. They got the real estate portfolio. They got the yacht. They can travel, right? They can in their illusion and their fake fairy tale ideology can purchase a woman. Women can't be bought. That's a whole nother episode.
Oh, some
They
can.
can't be bought. They being bought
Some
every day.
women-
Let's talk about that
They
too.
being
Let's talk
bought
about
right now.
They definitely being bought.
and men are getting exactly what they paying for.
And when
Yeah.
you say that, what you mean?
They're getting what they paying for. That's
Like.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
They getting either vagina, an
Yeah.
STD, or a
Yeah.
baby mama.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you buying. You can't buy substance. You can't buy love. You can't buy this.
No.
You can't buy
No,
marriage.
no, no.
This ain't bought.
No.
Okay, this ain't bought. This is built.
Mm-hmm.
This is built.
Yeah.
This is intimacy. This is love. This is
Yeah.
conversation. This is love each other by knowledge of each
Yeah.
other.
You just
This
said
can't be
no,
bought.
but you just said women can't be bought, and he just said yes, they can. So regardless of you buy STD, you buy baby, you buy sex, you bought the bitch. What you talking about? What you talking about? That's bought. Do we not hear a lot of these women talk about, oh, he need to be a 6-figure man? Matter of fact, her whole rhetoric was just saying what a high value man is. It's based off of his status. The type of money he makes is what makes him a high value man. Which is why I said that's hoe. That's a professional hoe. That don't make sense to me.
For sure.
You
Yeah.
you have a woman.
well, you can't buy love, but
Okay.
you can buy a woman though. She might not
You
love
can
you.
buy a body.
Okay.
There you go.
You can buy a vessel.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can have an exchange for a service from a woman, whether
Man,
it's
people do
time,
that shit.
sex, or time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Those aren't substances, right? So you can buy those. That's called solicitation and prostitution. Okay, I'm back. And you
Okay.
asked about high functioning and low value.
Yeah.
A high function, high value, low functioning guy has a lot of money. That's
Mhm.
value, but he has low functioning behavior. He can't process his emotions. He has a lot of narcissistic characteristics. If the
Okay.
conversation goes in a way that doesn't work for him, guess what? On to the next.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Or
lot of
he's
men
gonna
like that.
sabotage. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or he doesn't want to have this conversation anymore. Or you just not conducive for him.
She's complicating the situation. She's doing too much. She's doing a lot of talking. No, high value man is everything. All of that and what Kevin Samuels mentioned. Also the status and a person that is working on, not even that. I forgot exactly what the term was for the ones that was working on becoming that high value man. But all of that is inclusive to what being a high value man is, not just his economic status, but also his character and who he is as a person and all these different intangibles that he has. The shit that she talk about, she trying to separate the two. Because she's trying to say what a high value man is that's just the physical things that he has, his economic status and the type of money he made. And then versus a low value. There you go, a Henry. A Henry, which is the person that's working on he's working on becoming a high value man. And the shit she's talking about as far as a low value man, that's just the intangible. Those are the intangible things. But he doesn't have status. She's trying to conflate. This is stupid. She's stupid. High earner, not rich yet. There you go.
Okay.
Right? So in that circumstance I just described, that's a man who is more than likely doing what? Buying a woman.
So
Or let me say better, buying a body. Because you can't buy a woman, you're buying a body. You're buying a body.
So tell me this. So would a woman prefer a low value, high functioning man? Is that something you would prefer?
A woman?
No, I'm speaking to you.
Oh, me. So I love that. So if I had to choose between a high value, low functioning, right? Or high functioning, low value man, I would take the low value, high functioning.
You would?
I have to have a man who loves me, supports me, who understands intimacy, not just sex, who can hold a conversation with me, an intellectual conversation, who can be transactional and relational with me, who, when my strong opinion gets strong, he can sit in the discomfort of that. When his strong opinion gets strong.
I don't want to sit in the discomfort of it. That's the point. But y'all niggas think y'all so fucking special, man. Don't nobody want to talk to you. Ain't nobody trying to sit up here and have no conversation with you, have these long fucking ass talks, these ridiculous talks, bro. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care, bro. Yeah, that's what she wants. She wants somebody that she can control. She don't want nobody who's gonna tell her, look, shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not trying to have this long, deep fucking conversation. I really don't give a fuck. I'm focusing on this business. I'm trying to get this money right. I ain't got time to sit down and have these long ass conversations with you. I really don't care about what you're talking about right now. I don't. If it ain't helping us, if it's not conducive or helping us get to a bag, if it's not helping us make no money, if it's not helping us push forward in life, I don't want to talk about it. I don't. Exactly, Ted Coach. Exactly, bro. It belongs to the woman, right? She just said they just be saying stupid shit to make it sound like it's that she's saying something. She ain't saying the motherfucking thing.
Wrong. I can sit in that discomfort and still make him dinner. I can still make sure daddy has what he needs in the morning for work.
Gotcha.
I can still make sure that he is well taken care of.
Would you
I'm
still
not
respect
denying
him
him.
like a high value man?
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point in your life,
Now let me be clear. I didn't say a man who was lazy or broke or didn't work, because low value
There it
men
is.
just means they make less money. They're not men that don't work. These men are educated. These men are working. These men they're blue collar men. Blue collar men make six figures. They make six figures.
They do.
I mean, they make six. I feel if a man makes six figure, I don't really classify him as low value, man.
Exactly.
You
It's
reached
not
the
low
six
value.
figure point.
So, and this is the thing, right?
it's
Low-
very subjective.
There you go.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Low value is subjective.
Okay.
I always say,
Bullshit.
for me personally, I'm not clocking the dollar amount that my husband makes. It's what lifestyle can we provide ourselves and our family collectively.
So
It's a lifestyle we can provide, because you don't need a lot of money for certain lifestyles.
So what
Okay, I hear
lifestyle?
what
What
you're saying.
lifestyle are you talking about? Because if he's a blue collar worker, he working, he grinding. So what is this lifestyle that you are talking about? Are you talking about the lifestyle where you can go and buy a Gucci purse, or you can go buy a Louis Vuitton bag? You can take trips whenever you want to go. You want to fly first class when y'all fly places. You want to be able to drive in the latest Mercedes. You want to drive in the G-Wagon. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What type of life is it that you trying to live? What does that life look like? Because I 100% disagree. I ain't gonna say I disagree, but I don't believe her. I 110% don't believe her. I think that she wants somebody that she can control. So maybe I do believe her. Because if she wants a low, in her words, if she wants a low value, high functioning man, it's probably somebody who typically because a person that's high functioning, in my opinion, what a person is high functioning, yeah, they are emotionally intelligent. They don't waste a lot of time talking about unnecessary things. They get straight to the point. They are logical in what they talk about. They can be empathetic and sympathetic. However, it's, hey, listen, we got things we got to do though. I feel you, I hear you, but really don't care. Like, I really don't care. I'm just trying to we're trying to get somewhere, man. We already talked about this. We got a plan of where we're trying to go. All this extra shit, all this unnecessary talking conversation that you're trying to have, it really is pointless right now. I really don't care for it. Let's get to it.
So would you take a high functioning man making $50,000 a year?
That wouldn't fit my lifestyle.
So you wouldn't take him?
Not because he makes 50,000.
Well, why?
then it's
Right?
because he makes
It
50,000.
is because he
Hold
makes
on.
50 high functioning.
It's not the judgment of the dollar amount.
What is
it's
it?
because of where I'm at in my lifestyle. So it wouldn't be equal.
Let me run that back real quick. Let me run that back. So y'all heard what she said, right? When he asked her before, would you take either a high value man, which in her case means a high value man, his status is high, he makes a lot of money, that is low functioning, meaning, he's not emotionally intelligent and all, and can't have deep conversations in her head. That's what she says. Versus taking the person that is low value in status. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Boom. That is low value in status, in the type of money that he makes. And in her case, that's six figures. It's crazy. 6 figures, but he's high functioning. Then when he came back and asked her, so which one are you taking? He said, well, so you telling me you're going to take the high functioning man that's a low value? She said no, because that doesn't fit my lifestyle. Nigga, what? Fam, Jay, you feel me, Jay Ben? You feel me, bro? You feel me, dog? What are we talking about? This is why you let them talk long enough. Listen, fellas, listen. This is why sometimes men just tell y'all to shut the fuck up. Because you end up talking too much and you put your foot in your mouth. You start to talk too long. When you talk too much, you put your own foot in your mouth. Because you thought you was cooking. You thought you was eating big too. She thought she was eating a full course meal. And she choked on the bone. Pause. She choked on the bone. Well, I can't really say pause because she's a woman. She choked on the bone. Now she finna backtrack. She finna start backpedaling. Watch this.
Yoked, it wouldn't be yin yang for me. Now,
hold up,
let's
my
just
bad. I
say
said, let me play it back.
ourselves and our family collectively.
Watch this.
So,
It's a lifestyle we can provide because you don't need a lot of money for certain lifestyles.
Okay, I heard what you're saying. So would you take a high functioning man making $50,000 a year?
That wouldn't fit my lifestyle.
So you wouldn't take him?
Not because he makes 50,000.
Well, why?
then
right?
it's because he makes
It
50,000.
is because he makes 50 high functioning.
It's not the judgment of the dollar amount.
What is
It's
it?
because of where I'm at in my lifestyle. So it wouldn't be equally yoked. It wouldn't be yin yang for me. Now, let's just say.
So that's the reason, though.
That's the
Dr.
reason.
Cheyenne, because you said you wouldn't take him if he made 50,000. It's not about judgment. It's about the fact that you
It's
just
about the,
can't
like,
pay
you
for
can't-
what you need
yeah.
to
What
pay
I'm saying
for,
is,
right?
if a woman is in the space where she's making $80,000,
Uh-huh.
and this man can add to whatever her lifestyle is, and he makes 50,000, for her that is conducive. I'm not going to say the amount I make, but I do really, really well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if I got with a man who was making $50,000, I would be the breadwinner and I would be taking full care of him,
Mhm.
because the lifestyle that I have for myself and my family wouldn't be fair to him, because he would come in and he wouldn't even be able to slightly provide.
That's
that
good.
would
That's what I was
sense.
at. It
Makes
yes,
total
it
sense.
makes
I
sense.
wouldn't take a man that's making
but what I'm
50,000
saying
either.
is, but it goes further than that, because psychologically that would impair that man. That would impact that man. I have yet to meet a man who doesn't want to be able to add or provide when he is saying, I'm ready to be a husband and I'm ready to be a father.
Man, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want. Y'all really don't. Y'all just be talking. A lot of y'all want these. Y'all say y'all want these certain type of relationships. You talk about you want this certain type of man. Listen, ladies, you ain't gonna get 100% of the man that you want. You gonna have to pick a struggle. These niggas pick a struggle on your ass every single day. Y'all think y'all perfect. Some of y'all big backs. Some of y'all ain't making no money. Some of y'all aren't intelligent. Some of y'all only know how to lay down on your back and get that shit busted wide open. That's some of y'all. Some of y'all do know how to get money, but you don't know how to be in a fucking relationship. You are a great businesswoman, but you suck in a relationship. You suck as a wife. You suck as a girlfriend. You ain't perfect. Just like that nigga ain't. So what are the things that are most important to you? Because you got some people where I can't date a man that makes the same, that he needs to make more than me. Why? If you sit down and have a conversation with this man, because see, a lot of y'all don't have conversations. If you sit down and have a conversation with the man, and let's just say that he is making less than you right now, you just so happen to make you making a certain amount of money because of DEI, whatever the case may be. Bless me. You just so happen to start you making a little bit more than this man, or whatever the case may be. You making more than him. Okay, so now if you realize that you're making more than him, you then sit down and ask, okay, so let's have a conversation. What are the goals here? What is your 5, 10 year, 15 year plan? What do you plan on doing right now? And if he can give you a line, if he can put down on the line and tell you everything from point A to point B, where he's going, where he sees his life, where he sees his destination. And you sit here telling me, nah, I can't do it because I want to experience life. I have a certain lifestyle. Shorty, keep your lifestyle. Cool, do what you do. Do what you do. Go to work, stack your bread, do what you got to do. But understand something. If this man already has a plan now and he already understands, he just ain't got it right now. That doesn't mean he's not gonna always have it. He's working on it. But then when you flip the script and the man says, okay, cool then. Well, I don't want a chick that got babies. I don't want a chick that's a fat back. I want her in the gym. I don't want a chick that talk back. I want her submissive, friendly, and fit. I want her to submit to me. Then you got a fucking issue. Then it's a problem. Well, who said? See, that's that misogyny. That's that misogyny. See, y'all niggas so toxic. Why do I gotta be your slave? Because that's what I want. You want me to be a high value man, right? You want me to take care of you. You want me to make more money than you, right? So therefore, if I'm the breadwinner, you gonna have to do what the fuck I say. Ain't no talk back. Ain't no, oh, what if I want to challenge you? I don't want to be challenged. I get challenged every day. I just want, if I say we finna move, you gonna tell me how far we gonna fucking move. That's all I need to hear from you. How far we moving? When do I need to pack? This shit crazy as hell, but the contradictory is wild to me.
Those men who are family men, not street men, family men, they take pride in providing for their wives. And so if that man can't provide, that is,
and they also work their ass off too to get to that point, because they talk with their person. They have the conversation. She is on the plan. She understands nobody is bigger than the fucking plan. Nobody is. So are you on board or not? Are you on board? Because you know where I'm going. You understand where I'm going. You know where I'm going. Are you on this train or not? I don't have it yet, but I will have it. Because studies do show men who are typically married, they tend to make 3 times more than a single man. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Somebody can fact check me, but that's what I heard.
Is a direct emasculation on its own.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm a little confused because you said it wouldn't be because he makes 50,000, but that is the reason, right?
No. I'm taking accountability and saying it would be because of what I make. It would be because of where I am in my life. So it wouldn't be because you make $50,000, you ain't shit. It would be because of where I am in my life, right?
Right.
You just wouldn't be a good fit. I wouldn't be a good fit for you.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. So it's not me, because my thing is, I have friends who are married, who are making a certain amount, and they are very freaking happy and living a great lifestyle. It's all subjective. And so again, I would never tell a man, let me word it better, because you made 50,000, you can't be with me. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is,
that's exactly
because
what
of where I have grown and because of the lifestyle I became accustomed to, I wouldn't be a good fit for you.
That's the same thing.
You're cleaning it. She's so fucking dog. She be gaslighting, bro. You're saying the same thing. You're just flipping the words around to make it sound sweet, to make it seem like you ain't saying, listen, nigga, I don't want you because you make less than me. You saying the same goddamn thing. You just trying to sweeten it up. You saying the same exact goddamn thing. What the fuck you, man? I ain't gonna even call you doctor. I'm just gonna call you Brian, because you just tried to gaslight me.
Lifestyle I became accustomed to, I wouldn't be a good fit for
That's
you.
the same thing.
That's the same thing. That's what I was saying.
It can be to us because you're not the man I'm saying that to.
Okay. I get
So
what you're saying.
for me, because when I'm having a conversation with a man about this, my intention is never to emasculate him or never to make him feel small. So words do matter.
You just did, bro. You just fucking did. Any nigga with half a brain would understand you saying the same thing. You just saying it a different way. You just saying it, listen, the way that my lifestyle is set up, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that I would be a good fit for you. You basically just said, listen, bro, you don't make enough. So therefore, because you don't make enough to fund the lifestyle that I've already provided for myself, I don't think it's going to work, because I'm going to end up leaving you anyway. And that's exactly what you're saying. You're not saying anything sweet. You're not saying anything special. You just had to soften it up a little bit, make it seem like you're not trying to emasculate him. That's exactly what you're saying. It's like stand 10 toes on it, Bryant. Stand 10 toes on it. Say what you gonna say. Don't try to Don't try to sweeten it up. Say what you gonna say. Be just like Sarah Fox. Nah, you know what? Listen, I ain't saying nothing wrong with $50,000, but hey, that ain't the type of life I want to live. Stand on it. We here now. Everybody see the shit. We just called. I just called you out. The shit that you just said, you just got caught. And even the host and co-host caught you on your shit. But you know, they ain't gonna press you about it. But they caught you and they said that's the same exact thing. You just trying to sweeten it up. Don't play with me, bro.
Matter when it comes to a conversation you're having with someone, when you intentionally are not trying to tell them you ain't good enough, bro.
But what if he's he's high functioning? He making 50. He make you feel beautiful.
For me personally, that is still a great man, but he's not conducive for where I am in my career.
Because he don't make enough money for you.
Because he couldn't sustain, and it would in return affect this man.
Yeah, you couldn't respect him. You couldn't.
No, I could respect him.
You can respect him.
Yes.
Well, then why wouldn't you take him? He make 50. He make you happy.
Because what happens is psychologically, when that man cannot provide for a woman of my caliber, it affects him. So as he becomes emasculated, as his confidence starts to dip, as his self-esteem starts to dip, at that point, a woman starts to lose respect because I can only respect.
J-Ben, don't this sound familiar? Shout out to my girl. Shout out to my girl, Ashley. Shout out to my girl, Ashley, bro. Ashley, I'm gonna have to bring you. I'm gonna have to pull you forward. I'm gonna have to pull you forward. I'm gonna have to pull y'all forward. But this is towards Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If you're such this phenomenal woman, and you're in these circles with these men, supposedly, you're in these circles, why is it that you can't bag them? Why is it that you can't bag these men? Because you say that a lot of these men have high value, which means they have high status, they make a lot of money, but yet they're low vibrational. You know, they don't have the intellect, they don't have the emotional intelligence, they don't have all these different things. So, but then you say that you don't want the man that's high functioning, but low value, meaning in status. Because he don't make as much money as you. But yet you still say that you respect him, but yet you won't date him because you think that he's going to be insecure, that he can't provide because you make more money than him. So by your logic, if he's a high functioning man, that means that wouldn't bother him because he understands that, yeah, you make more money than me right now, but I'm working towards something. Because you said he also had to be ambitious. He also had to be a workaholic. You know, he had to get to a bag, right? He had to be that kind of guy that works ambitious and shit. So that means he already in the mental mindset that he's going to be working and grinding to build his money up and build his value up, his status, his economic status up, right? So the math ain't mathing to me, dog. What are we talking about? The math ain't mathing for me. The math ain't mathing for me, bruh. I ain't the most charged battery in the remote, but I am not. It ain't making sense to me, bro. I hear a lot of buffoonery going on.
Respect you at the level that you respect yourself. So why would I put a man in a position that is called selfish to me? And to me, that's a little narcissistic of a woman to say, I'm gonna put you in this position, knowing I'm gonna have to have full control, knowing I'm gonna have to take full care of you, and then just say, well, it's gonna affect you mentally, and when it does, you know, I'll just roll on that and maybe either take advantage of your vulnerability or just say, well, you know, I can be the powerhouse. I can always look like the one that's big, the big shot or the big dog of this relationship.
Right.
No,
You shout out to Anton Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Anton. Shout out to Anton. I remember him saying this at one point in regards to, you know, his lady, right? That yeah, although he would be still rich or whatever the case, but there are certain things about his lady that she can open up opportunities for him, which also is a compliment to Anton because that's helped him create even more wealth, right? So, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, if you're such a powerhouse, and you're around all these people, you make X amount of dollars, you do very well for yourself, as you would say. That high functioning man that is low value right now, who you said, I just want to make sure it's clear, who you said that he still has to be ambitious in everything, right? Ambitious, that means he's still going to get to a bag. And low value for you is 6 figures. Which you're going to stick to what you said, 6 figures. And you claim to be around all these people that make a lot of money. Why wouldn't you create the opportunity for him to help him level up? Because ultimately, don't you become the beneficiary of the success? Don't you? Because if he already has the potential to be that powerhouse and you have the resources, so to speak, to help get him there maybe a little faster or put him in certain circles, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? I hope this is a phenomenal question for one of my panelists. This is a phenomenal question to ask because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If he's I'm just gonna reiterate it one more time, and I'm gonna let it play. If he's a high functioning man, but low value right now, which means you're making more than him. But he's not a high value, meaning economic status. He's not high value, but he's low vibrational. You don't want that. You want the one that's high functioning, but you still want a high value. So you want both right here. So if he's already high vibrational but low value, you have a high value. So based on your standards, you have a high value. So why won't you use your high value? Use your high value to help bring this nigga's value up here and possibly more, so your way you can live the life that you want because he's already a high vibrational man. All right. I got you, bro. I got you. I will.
I'm not here to make a man feel small. Mm-hmm. I'm here to make any man, whether it's my man or a man outside of me, to know he's a king. Mm-hmm. And he needs to be with the right fit to be kinged, because it will affect that man a lot more than it will affect the woman who is choosing him.
Do you want
I see it happen in my office all the time.
Do you want to be married eventually?
Yes, you do. I will.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you believe you're not married already?
Well, I mean, one, I wanted to wait until my career was fully, really to the space it is now. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have kids, for me personally, born in a deficit. Mm-hmm. They're born in equity, and equity is not just financial things, right, and accolades and things that I can offer surfacely or externally, but I wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I'm not just choosing a husband, but I'm choosing a father. Mm-hmm. A lot of women choose husbands, and then they go, he's not a great father. Mm-hmm. And of course, you don't know if he's good at either until you are in the experience of them. Mm-hmm. But you can use something called wisdom that can help you choose better. Doesn't mean you're going to choose perfect. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean that I'm exempt from divorce or I'm exempt from any of the things, because I'm not, that come with a marriage or a relationship whatsoever. But yeah, I wanted to wait until I am exactly where I am now. And so this year, I've said on other shows as well that I took my IUD out this year, and I am now ready to be married. And I think that if more people did it on their terms, I think that marriage would be healthier. Not perfect. Doesn't mean it's without problem. I think that it would be a happier marriage because you're doing it from a place of, I now as a woman or as a man, I'm ready. And I feel like I have the things I want to offer my partner, not what can I get from you. Okay. I want to get married.
Look at her. Who can? I'm not going to say that she can't get married. I'm not going to say that. She'll be married and she'll be divorced in 3 to 5 years if that were to happen. This is, man.
Married because I'm lonely. I want to get married because, you know, I need economic help here. I want to get married because I want to have someone look good on my arm. Those aren't reasons to get married. I now feel like I have the things I want to offer my husband, not just, you know, what I had in the past, which would have been good enough because I was engaged, you know, twice. But for me, I want to be able to be like, listen, I did all this work, baby, not just for me, but I had my husband in mind. I did this entire time that I was building my career.
Man, I'm done with this whole. She just want to be the man in the relationship. I got it. She want to be the man in the relationship. She want to be the top dog. She don't want a man. She want a man to be her yes man. That's what she wants. She want a simp. She want a nigga that make a lot of money. She want a yada. She want a nigga that make money that he can simp for. That's what she wants. She want that type of nigga. He made good money, but he gonna be a yes man to her. She gonna be the one that gonna talk crazy to him. She gonna, you know how she talking. She wanna talk at him, talk to him like a kid, as if she their mom. That's what she want to be, the big dog. She want to wear the big dog pants in the household. That's why she ain't been married yet. Because I guarantee the type of dudes that actually wanted to be with her, those were the ones that was like, nah, bro, you ain't finna be the big dog here. That's me. You ain't gonna run shit over here. And so she couldn't handle that. Her ego wouldn't allow it. Her ego would not allow it. So that's why she's fucking single. That's why she's single. All this extra shit that she throwing out here, I'm talking about, she talking like she just got it in the bag, but yet can't find a nigga. Yeah, all right. You can cover that. You can mask that shit all you want to. I just want to make sure that I get my life together and I have everything so I can give to my husband and say, look, baby, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. That's something a man would say. That's the phrase a man would say, look, baby girl, I'm doing this shit for us. I'm doing this shit for you. So that way you can live the life that you want to fucking live. I want to give you the fucking moon and the stars. I want to give you everything. That's something a man would say. Now this is the problem. This is the problem. This is why a lot of y'all motherfuckers can't get married. This is why y'all can't find the men that y'all want, because y'all think the nigga gotta be 100% established already. This is why guys like myself and other guys like Anton Davis and everybody else who else agrees, this is why I say you should get married younger. It alleviates all the bullshit. You get married young, you have the conversation. Look, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to grow, because you're still vibrant, you're still young. Boom, you guys can build. You guys can build together. You guys can focus. You guys have a plan of action to get to the fucking destination. You can build and grow your wealth. You can get to a bag. Both of y'all can get to a bag at a younger age, and you still can be married through and through. Have kids now that you all successful. Because let me break it down to you. I went to school with a lot of people. I went to private schools, and one of the things that they did, they are still, I know a lot of them that are still married to this day, and they were high school sweethearts. They built together. I'm talking about they were together through college, they were together through high school. They were struggling, and then brother but it became a trade. I think a couple of them, they get into trade work. And then some of them start their own businesses, whatever the case, right? They have their kids at their in the mid-20s. Boom, they're still building the growing, still building the growing, still building the growing. Then once they hit their mid-30s, boom, they've already established, they're well into the six figures. They got a family, they got a nice ass house, they're building their first home. That shit looking fucking gorgeous. They sitting on about an acre and a half or two, building their house. Business is booming, everything is solid. No issues. Nobody's on TikTok talking about, oh well, I wish, I just need a man who's high functioning and he needs to be high status. They ain't talking about that shit. They living their lives. Kids, 2 or 3 kids running around, big ass pool in the backyard, big ass yard, nice ass home. It's not extreme, it's not a mansion, it's a nice ass home. It could be a forever home. And they live in their lives. They've been together since fucking high school. But y'all listen to the Instagram, y'all listen to TikTok, y'all see all these fake ass millionaires and all these fake entrepreneurs and scammers, and y'all think that's the life that you fucking want. But then when you come to find out, these niggas out like fucking Duperton, niggas out here scamming people. Now they in jail. Because if you really wanted to live that soft life, if you really wanted to live the life that you claim that you want to live, you would do everything in your power to make sure that the man that you're with gets to that point. You would vet him properly before you date him. You're going to ask the proper questions. You're going to make sure that he is an ambitious individual, that he has plans, that he has goals, that he has dreams, that he's working towards that. He just may not be there yet. Like we said, like Kevin Samuel says, a Henry. You vet that. Then you say, okay, all right, so I know where you want to be. I know. Okay, so what's the end destination? Where do you see yourself? Okay, I see myself doing X, Y, and Z. I can see that too. So what is it that you can do? So what is it that I can do to help you either get there faster or to free up the space for you in order for you to operate effectively so that way you can get to the destination? Because I know ultimately I'm going to be the one that's going to benefit from it as your lady. But y'all don't want to have those conversations because y'all too fucking egotistical. You think it's always about you. You think everything has to be done for you. You think everything has to be about you. You think everything got to draw for you, bro. That's what exactly, Jake. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But a lot of these women, they so stuck in their ways. They so, oh, well, I said this is what I want because I used to date a man like this and I did everything for him. And man, I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Like, I don't want to hear none of it. Did you vet him properly? Yeah, I bet. No, you didn't. Because if you vetted him properly, you would have known that this nigga wasn't a hard worker. You would have known that this nigga wasn't that type of guy. You would have known he wasn't ambitious because you didn't ask the questions. You got caught up off of some sweet nothings. You got caught up on some sweet peen. You got caught up in that. And you thought it was going to be forever. That nigga was telling you sweet nothings. It sounded good, but you never seen him working. You never seen him putting forth the effort. You never seen it. How is it that this is one of the things about business? This is one of the things about when you're in corporate. Listen, what is it that I can do to add value to you? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have heard entrepreneurs say it. Listen, stop coming up to me talking about let me pick your brain. One of the biggest things that you should do when you walk up to an entrepreneur, you know somebody that has a lot of information and you want to know, you want to get that type of information, you get the information by adding value to them. Listen, what is it that I can do that I can add value to your life? How can I add that? How can I be of an add value to you? Because ultimately, because you brought the value to them, or you seen certain things, you became an observer, you see certain things that this person might need, you then go to them with that solution, say, hey, I noticed this about your business, so I took the liberty to do X, Y, Z. Just wanted to let you know what I'm saying, check it out, let me know what you think. Boom, you just brought value. So now this person is intrigued, so now they want to sit down and have a conversation with you. They want to know, They want to know the things about you. They're going to talk to you about the things that they do, where they're going, and all of these different, they're going to bring you, they're going to give you insight. They're going to bring you into their world without you having to ask and pick the fucking brain, because you brought value. Now they're bringing you into your world. Now, guess what? The benefit cost of it is now you get all this inside information that you can take back and implement into your life and into your business and whatever it is that you're fucking doing. But y'all don't want to listen to that shit, though. You don't want to listen to it. Stupid.